Welcome to American Dreams. My guest today is Mike Bennett. He's a managing partner at Crewe Capital. Mike, welcome to today's show.
Thanks, Alan. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
So, Mike, just running through your early career, you have a phenomenal background and also in leadership too. But I want to delve into how did your interest in investment banking and finance first emerge?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, I grew up in Las Vegas, so the skyline was hotel rooms. There were no real corporations that I was familiar with, no investment banks downtown that I knew of. I didn't know what investment bank was. You know, most of my friends' parents worked in the gaming industry, and so when I was studying in college, I was studying to be a dentist. I thought that was a good career path, that it was reliable, and that it would be something that would help me provide for a family. And I worked really, really hard in chemistries and biology and wasn't quite getting the grades, but I had started a business to pay for college, and my clients ended up being investment banks. And it quickly realized that finance kind of makes the world go round, and quickly took I was struggling to get B's and C's in chemistry, and finance just kind of made sense to me. The math and finance was really clear in my mind, and so I quickly realized, after I'd done all my prerequisites for dental school, that I should probably spend my career in finance or in business. And so I switched my major to marketing, and I after finishing my undergrad, I took an investment banking job. So that's kind of how I got into it. A roundabout way. I didn't know what it was, and I had no idea what investment banking was or what they were until I was doing business with them.
So tell us the story behind Crewe Capital. How did Crewe Capital name come about?
Yeah, so I did a graduate degree at Oxford in the UK, and which was a very inspiring experience because we had, I think, 40 kids from 44 countries, right? So it was fascinating, very eye-opening. It really inspired me to start Crewe. And because that experience was so inspiring, I looked to that experience for inspiration. And there's a city outside of London named Crewe, Crewe, and it's a railroad town, and they were a big part instrumental during the different wars and setting up different parts of the UK. And they moved from railroad manufacturing, and they used the grit and hard work, and they created more industrial manufacturing for building Rolls Royces and Bentleys and other fine automobiles. And I loved the idea of being the grit and hard work behind what was a beautiful product, and thought that would be really good inspiration for us as a team. Crewe kind of has an idea of teamwork, but also this idea of the hard work behind, our clients and what they're doing.
So the driving force that led you into getting Crewe established, what did you see as a gap in the market? Obviously, there's a lot of people already competing in this space. And how did you want to differentiate yourself in this?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think what I learned is, one, it's attractive to very smart, talented people. They want to be in this industry. But I found that the hole was more on Main Street, and Wall Street goes to the big IPOs and the big transactions because there are big fees. But most of the economy is made up by smaller businesses, and we define that as lower middle market. And it's kind of, most of what we do is our businesses with enterprise values around 40 or 50 million up to 250 million, and they're too big for a business broker to provide real value, and they're too small for Wall Street. But most of our economy is made up of them, and they need good advice. And so our business is set up to give good advice, whether they're raising capital or they want to transact, or they need advice on their personal balance sheet or estate planning or tax planning. Our firm provides strategic advice for a business owner on his personal and professional balance sheet.
For Crewe Capital, as it's evolved over the years, what's been the biggest milestone to date?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, one of the biggest milestone was buying our own broker dealer and having our own formal investment bank. That was a big milestone because there are ways to do it without doing that. It's expensive, but it's, you're dealing with the regulators directly. But that was a really big milestone. We also set up Crewe Advisors, which is a separate business with separate professionals, but that was to provide really good service to our clients on their personal side of things. I met with my partners this morning, and we had set up Crewe Foundation a couple of years ago, and we've given out over $22 million in grants, and that was, I didn't realize the number was so big, but that was also a huge milestone of just what this idea was and what it's become and how many people we're helping and the impact in the community and the people we do business with and our colleagues. It's just been really rewarding.
So you've completed over 100 investment banking transactions. Is there one in particular that stands out or that taught you something unexpected?
That's a great question. They're all so different. I think what I found is most business owners have an insane amount of grit, and normally they either come with no privilege or a lot of privilege. There's not a lot of in between, and so the business owners you learn so much from them and how they've gotten to where they are. A transaction we're working on now, we started working with this company about 5 years ago, and they're about $100 million enterprise business company, and we've helped them with a series of transactions, helped them buy out shareholders and helped them with some strategic advisory through debt placements. And now they're prepared to go public, and they're about a $3 billion enterprise business. And what I've seen them do in the last 5 or 6 years and grow from 100 million to almost 3 billion was their focus on people. They're really a leadership company, and they compete because they hire the best talent and they have the best alignment of interest, and they train their people. I think that was something really inspiring to me to see how they've grown, not necessarily because their product's better, it may be, but their talent is better and their investment in human capital is outstanding.
There's advisory services on the sell side or buy side. Is there any preference for who you want to represent?
I would say 98% of our business on the investment banking side is sell side, because we run a really tight competitive process. I think we know we're the best at finding buyers of that size of business. And so we get a lot of referrals, and that's where we think we're really good, sell side.
So we have this market is just evolving, new trends in this financial world. How do you stay on top of everything going on in this world of change?
It's hard. I do start the day every morning by reading as much as I can the Wall Street Journal. I listen to Bloomberg's podcasts on all the economic updates, and I follow all the key indices that are, interest rates and everything that I possibly can from just a macro level. But I also just talk to business owners. We get calls all day long from buyers that are looking for good companies to invest in. So we listen to them, then we listen to our clients. And then it also is helpful having wealth management. They give us really good insight on economic trends. But it is hard. You have to have a team, and you also have to really try. If you don't pay attention, you don't try to learn, you'll miss out.
So you mentioned before about the foundation that Crewe's established, and philanthropically $22 million given out. Are there any various organizations that you choose to, put more support behind, or is there a theme behind your philanthropic giving?
Yeah, that's a good question. We have given to a lot of different organizations because organizations change. So I'm always a little hesitant to really back one because the world changes, people change. So we've given to a lot, and a lot of things are very, very important to us. One key theme is kids. People that can't help themselves is something that's really important to us, whether that's their physical health or mental health, or one organization that we supported this year was called For Others, and they're big on foster kids and helping parents actually stick with their children if they can, or helping people that want to adopt. We opened in a partnership with Charity Vision. We opened up an eye center in Peru in the Amazon, which is expected to cure blindness. I guess cure blindness isn't really possible, but do procedures that will restore vision for 1,000 people in 2024 and into perpetuity. It's kind of a self-sustaining eye center. So that's something I'm super proud of and excited to see, something that just not only we're impacting the communities that we work and live, but also that's something that can be more sustainable and we don't have to give money to every year.
One thing you've been able to do successfully is merge your passion with golf and philanthropic philanthropy. Yeah. So with the start of the Crewe Cup, so can you give us a little insight? Yeah. What is the Crewe Cup and who attends this and how big is this?
Sure. Good question. If I didn't learn how to mix my passion and pleasures with work and family, I wouldn't get to play golf. And that is something I enjoy. I've got my family playing, we play together, and I play for work. But I started the Crewe Cup. This was our 13th year doing it. It's a team match play golf tournament, and we go to different places across the country. And I took inspiration from my favorite tournaments, so the jacket from the Masters, the trophy from the Open, and the format of the Ryder Cup to create the Crewe Cup. And we have phenomenal participants. It's mostly made up of celebrities and CEOs. This year, Stephen Curry and Ben Roethlisberger and Michael Pena and Danny Ainge and Dale Curry and Seth Curry and Drew Brees were some of the people that participated. And then some CEO types, CEO of Ashley Furniture or the owner of the Utah Jazz. And it's an intimate group, but they come together to compete and build friendship and camaraderie, but also to do something that's bigger than them and to help and to give back. And so for me, the combination of experiences, relationships, and philanthropy provide a phenomenal experience, something I look forward to every year that's been able to do a lot of good.
Well, it's a powerful group that you're hosting there, and I imagine you just use the same people from year to year coming back again, or is it a rotating or evolving? If the CEO wanted to get involved, would there be an opening, or how does that work, Mike?
It's a little of both. Sometimes calendars come in and out. We have guys like, Ray Allen, who's been every year since he started coming, and then some guys aren't able to come every year. We like to meet new people, and there's always an opportunity to have new people join us, for sure.
And is there a website or something to reach out? Do they reach out to you directly?
Yeah, if they want to reach out to me directly, my email is m@crewe, crewe.com. m@crewe.com is the best way to just send me an email.
So moving through the advice and the future vision, what advice would you give a young professional to aspiring to follow a path similar to yours in investment banking?
I think the sooner you know you want to be in it, the better. But you're not going to know until you have some experience. Do everything you can, even if you work for free for somebody, and shadow them to make sure that's something that actually is what you want to do once you have a chance to realize what it actually is, and then stick with it. I see people just quit too soon. You don't really become very powerful in anything, most likely until your 30s. In professional services. So whether that's legal, accounting, tax, all of banking, most people start getting really good at something after spending a lot of time at it. So my recommendation is you have to have a lot of drive, be really ambitious, stick with it, and do all you can to get experience. I applied to grad school and they declined me 3 times. And then on the 4th time, I sent them a letter explaining who I was and what I was doing, what I wanted to be. And I finally got in. But if I had quit that 2nd or even 3rd time, I wouldn't have the experiences that I had that inspired me to do what I'm doing. So I would recommend that to stick with it,
So where do you see the future landscape of investment banking changing, especially in relation to middle market companies?
what I'm finding is that the middle market companies are going to always have a strong need. It's going to change. I think we're even seeing the change with artificial intelligence, the preparation of investment memorandums or even due diligence files. That's going to be automated, I think, in a big way, but it will need to be supervised by humans, and it will, especially from a compliance standpoint. And there is a big human element of banking, negotiating, interacting, the competitive nature of deal making, I think, will always be intact by humans, we hope. But I do think artificial intelligence will have an impact on that. And but I think it's only it seems to me that it's only gotten better. I think the consumer is more educated on what it is and how to make it most impactful, because forever, as long as I know, the big companies have always used investment bankers to help them with all their strategic capitalizations, but middle market, not as much. And I think what we're finding is they're a little bit more educated now on how that can benefit them.
What are Crewe Capital's future plans? Are there any sectors or areas you're particularly excited about exploring for your next expansion into markets?
That's a good question. I mean, I think we've done charity, investment banking, and wealth management, and some experiential stuff with the Crewe Cup. I would like to do more direct investing. We do some of that through the family office, but I think if the fourth leg of the stool would be interesting if there was a strategy that we could take advantage of because of our platform. That would probably be the next strategic initiative, but we're also try to keep a balance here, try to still be good people, good spouses, good parents.
There you go. It's that balance of life as we go through it. Enjoy it and make sure it's, that we're keeping the wife and kids happy. So good.
Right.
Hey, Mike, it's been a pleasure having you on the show with us here on American Dreams today. Once again, if a person wants to reach out for more information on Crewe Capital, how would they go and do that?
Yeah, just email me directly. It's M as in Mike, M@Crewe, CREWE.com.
All right. Well, thanks for being with us today.
Thank you so much.